Michael should win, but probably won't.
Would you be surprised if it didn't?
I would be surprised if it did.
Exactly.
I have a question for you, gentlemen. We talk about the Grammys and how we stopped doing the Grammy lists and the nominations and all this stuff. We stopped doing that. I have to ask, is there a level of importance with Killer Mike being nominated in terms of him actually winning this album? Would that do anything to change or shift anything in the culture if this particular album wins Best Rap Album of the Year? Is there any importance associated with this? Because
I'd
to
be
me,
happy for him, but no.
So tell me why.
Only if it turned into a trend. It would have to happen like this for like 5 years in a row or something.
So what you're saying is the trend from the Grammys moving forward, them respecting...
The Grammys are known for overcorrecting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So is this, if they consistently get it right, then I would say maybe, but at the same time... They won't,
because the board is kind of the same as politics. They have the same people on the board that are older and have been a part of this board forever, or people that have paid to have this position. So a lot of them aren't hip, so to speak.
A lot of them are, though. A lot of them are.
I think probably more aren't.
I mean, we actually know some people that are associated with the Grammy board.
A few.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I think, isn't Add2 a part of it?
Add2's a part of it. Andrew Barber's a part of it. Yeah.
But the thing about that is, if there's more that aren't a part of it, then that kind of...
Because people from
silences them. It makes their vote get lost in the shuffle.
I mean, at the end of the day, no, I don't think the Grammys matter at all. I don't think any award show really matters at all. That's where I really stand. But
you know why it matters?
But from a significant standpoint, I think if they continue to get it right over a long period of time, I think then maybe it can start to maybe gain some credibility.
So what I'm taking from you is we don't want it to be the album of the year where they just throw him a bone and it goes right back to the trends.
I don't care either. I don't care. I just, like, at this point, like, they haven't been consistent for so long. I don't care. Like, it would be cool if he won, because I think he should win.
But that's where it stops.
The end.
Okay. I think once again it'd be cool if he won, but some of our greatest hip hop heroes, not only have they never won a Grammy, but they've never even been nominated.
Yeah.
Gangstar, no nominations. Pete Rock and CL Smooth, no nominations. You know what I'm saying? Tupac, no wins. Notorious B.I.G., no wins.
So what I'm taking...
Even in death, they didn't give him a win.
I mean, Nas just got, what, the first time, like...
30 years in, that's what they finally give him a...
Snoop still ain't got one.
Snoop still doesn't have one. So what, really, I mean, it's nice. Don't get me wrong. There are people who have Grammys. I'm glad they got them.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Year the Diggable Planets won.
Right.
That they can still say Grammy award
winning, yeah.
Diggable Planets. But Black Star, no Grammy. A Tribe Called Quest, no Grammys. De La Soul, no Grammys. Okay, this doesn't really shape how we feel.
Bubba Sparks, no Grammys.
This Beastie Boys, no Grammys. You know what I'm saying? No nominate. Well, I take that back. They did win. I think they did win. I take that back.
They won for Intergalactic.
No, yeah, but they won for stuff where it's like, okay, that's great, but what about this over here that they should have won for?
So what
Andre's going to win hip hop album of the year.
That's the whole thing. It's something about doubling back, though. It's almost like they always have to double back because I mean everybody knows what happened when Macklemore won. Macklemore even stated himself.
He said it.
And what happened after that? The Grammys were like, okay, we can't mess this up again. So basically, Kendrick has won every Grammy he's been nominated for.
And now
since
he's
then.
in the Smithsonian.
Yeah. So I mean, what? As a fan of Killer Mike, as somebody who I've listened to this particular album more than I have any other album, it is my album of the year. I can't even put together a full top 10 list. Like, that's how, I mean, there's been some good records, but like, as far as what's really kept my attention,
10 of them, yeah, I'm with you when you're right.
It's hard. Like, usually I come out with my 10 and then some honorable mentions, but it's really been all about Michael this year.
I'm not going to hold you. Michael by far is my favorite record of the year, but Doja Cat snapped. I was very impressed with her. I was impressed. I was more impressed than I thought I would be, man. There's some heat on there. And I never thought I'd be that person.
We talked about Paint the Town Red and a couple other records.
She has some more heat on there that I was not aware of. But it's still Michael, though.
Come on now.
So the reason I'm asking is because, and what I'm taking from everybody's conversation is, as fans, we would love to see him win, but the actual impact of it is not going to be.
It's not in a streaming era.
It's not going to be.
I mean, it'd be nice. I don't know. And once again, I'm not sure if they are. Say he won and he gets to actually accept on stage. That might be the only difference it makes.
Is that where the impact comes in?
That's where the impact comes in. Maybe.
What do you think, Lone? Maybe.
But if he gets
on there, wins and announces that he's running for president.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, at this point, the people who we consider to be legends, the people who we really respect as hip hop artists, the Grammy thing is nice. I was, like I said, I still have to watch the rest of the Grammy tribute to hip hop. The parts I've seen are great, but the most of the people up on that stage have never won anything.
You're right.
I mean, they're doing a tribute. They're doing a tribute with people who have been ignored by the Academy during most of the time that they've been nominated in hip hop records.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think the only thing about it is with this Killer Mike album, I feel like people that probably didn't think they were going to like the Killer Mike album really enjoy it, because across the board, I'm hearing anybody that's listened to that album says this is the best album I've heard this year, and these are even people that may not listen to this said style of hip hop. Mm-hmm. It's just how good it is. Now, if it wins, it's a testament of people that actually rock with hip hop.
Yeah,
actually being the influence and the ones that made it make sense for them to win, for him to win.
Right.
But the status quo would probably push 𝐷𝗔𝗥𝗧𝗏 because that's who's more popular than Killer Mike as far as musically is concerned.
Right. And also, the people who vote are outside, like, because there are people who are country, who are rock, who are pop, whatever. Right. They vote too.
Right.
Okay. And a lot of times I feel like their vote is like, oh, yeah, who's that guy that my kids like? Yeah. Or who's that girl? It's like, oh, they've probably been hearing Paint the Town Red everywhere they've gone for the last 6 months.
Yes.
And so, like, Michael has a, or Killer Mike, I'm looking at the record.
Yeah.
Just calling him Michael. As
artwork is fire.
If you have to be somebody who has actually said, I'm going to sit down and listen to this record, if you're going to hear any of the songs, any of the video clips, like, you're not going to hear this at the grocery store or at the club or any of the places where you might, just by osmosis, hear a certain person's record. So I think that's where but at the same time, because King's Disease won, before, a few years ago, this might be the dark horse, like King's Disease 2 or 3 rather, whichever the one that has the Lauryn Hill record.
2.
That's 3.
No, that's 2.
Is that 2?
I can't remember.
It's 2.
One of them
3
is
the one that just came out.
You're right. I stand corrected. He's right.
Or is that Magic 3?
Magic 3. You're right. Magic.
No,
3.
so it's
There's 3 Magics.
See, lost in the sauce.
I think he's right about 2 though. I think
King's Disease either 2 or 3 is nominated as well. But once again, once you get that first Grammy, it's like, oh, okay, and you start looking at it, and you start looking at, sometimes they just go look at the composers, and if they see Lauryn Hill's name, they're just like, oh yeah, Lauryn Hill,
she got one.
Yeah, let's go ahead and vote for this. So like I said, I feel like Michael should win, but probably won't.
Would you be surprised if it didn't?
I would be surprised if it did.
Exactly.
I would be surprised if it did as well.
Mean, but even if it wins, it's a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking about trying to seem cool.
I want him to win and be able to get up there and talk that talk.
Because honestly, if they're not gonna televise the winner of Best Hip Hop, which they, for whatever reason, just don't like to do, even though hip hop, well, not this year, but the previous years has driven the music industry, then I don't care. Like, if it's an opportunity to hear Killer Mike on national TV, I would do his thing.
I would just be
and
cool
tell the people to stop playing the music.
I would be cool with him performing.
Too
on that stage.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. But I bet you Jelly Roll wins a country award.
I bet you he does.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jelly Roll.
Straight up.
It's probably gonna be Doja and Jelly Roll.
Doja and Jelly Roll.
Doja and Jelly Roll and
probably Adele and
Taylor Swift.
Definitely Beck.
Yeah, Taylor Swift has got to.
Beck gonna be in there regardless, ain't he, Law?
He's got.
Beck is always in there. You never hear about the album even dropping
until after he won.
Yeah,
that's how great he is.
Hey.